All right, folks, this is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Time to get the show started. Let's go. Well, hey, good morning, everybody. It's Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to welcome you all to the show this morning, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events, all that kind of stuff that shape the city of Las Vegas. And I want to welcome all my friends who are on Facebook and Twitter. I'm going to check in on you right now to see if you're waking up early this morning. I don't know if you saw a picture I put out this morning. And it's on, I think I put it on my personal page, and then I put it on my on our Livin in Vegas page. But I go out riding pretty much every morning. You all know this. I mean, I'm not telling you guys anything. So I go out riding every morning, and when I do, on occasion, I'll take a picture of where I'm at. And this morning, I was at the top of Lone Mountain. So Lone Mountain's western edge of the valley. So I was way up there this morning. I'm up there probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a week. And when I'm doing my shorter runs, because it's a higher elevation, just kind of go up the hill. So I was up there this morning, and I took a picture of it, a panoramic view. And I thought, okay, so I'll post it right then and there. So I did. I posted it right then and there on on my regular page. And would you know what happened on Facebook? What they do is they actually they give you kind of a 360-degree view of what I did. So if you're looking at that picture, what you do is you just kind of do your phone and kind of do this, and you'll see what I saw at, is it 5:30 this morning? Something like that. So I think it was about 5:30. So you can actually check that out. Well, anyways, very cool. Vegas is looking good. We are in NFL week. We're on the countdown. We're on the glide path right now to the NFL draft. So we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to talk about some other cool things that are going on in Las Vegas also. But first and foremost, we want to talk about Livin in Vegas magazine, as we always do. Livin in Vegas magazine is out. It's about on the, I do this wrong every time. Right here, on the cover of Livin in Vegas magazine are our stars for this quarter. That's Kristen and Greg Berta, and they are. I'm going to move out of the way a little bit here. Kristen and Greg Berta. They are the owners of Junk Luggers. And I'm going to go this way just a little bit more because I'm leaning in here. So they're the owners of Junk Luggers. Fantastic company. I mean, just a rock star company. They have a great mission that they're doing, so you can read about them. And there's tons of other great things in the magazine that you can check it out. Just go to our website, livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com, and you can check that out. Or if you'd like me to email it to you, it's really easy, folks. All you got to do is send me an email and just send it to info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livininvegas.com, and we will send that to you, put you on our mailing list, and you'll get it. And we actually get people doing this all the time where the people say, hey, I want to get on the mailing list. I want to get on the mailing list because you guys are putting out some real cool stuff, and we do. We really do. I mean, I'm not just patting myself on the back, because it's really hard to do anyways. But no, we do. We really do put out some really cool stuff, and you can check that out. Yesterday, we had on the show Sincere Porter. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. Sincere is a fantastic singer, and so we had her on the show yesterday. Had a great time. Really did. Had a great time with her. And if you have not seen that podcast, go to our website at livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com, and you can actually check that out. Just go to our show page, and you can check that out. All right. Lastly, here I got an announcement to make for you because I keep forgetting to do this earlier, so I'm going to make this announcement real quick. Here you go. Hi, it's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Yeah, and that's what you can actually get on the show. And it's really easy, folks. I mean, really super easy. Just send us a note and say, hey, we want to be on the show. I got a great product or something. And just what Sincere did. And she got on, and it's a very limited amount of spaces we have for this, folks. I mean, really, it's a very limited amount of spaces we have for this. So if you would like to be on the show, definitely do that. Send us a note. Say, hey, Sherm, I'd love to be on the show. I got something to talk about, and we would love to be, especially if you've got something. I've got a friend of mine, and I almost forgot about it because they didn't update me. There is actually a military event coming up, and I didn't get all the information. As soon as I get all the information on it, folks, I will forward it on to you. But I was contacted by a veterans group, and so if you have a public service announcement, just call me up, folks. Call us up, and we will definitely make an announcement about what's going on, and let everybody know what's going on in your life. Well, folks, it's NFL Draft Week. It is definitely NFL Draft Week, and we are on the glide path to the NFL Draft here in the city of Las Vegas. There was actually a note that said that small business in Las Vegas is on high alert, folks. Not just a little bit. They're on high alert here in the city of Las Vegas. And I don't know about you. There was if I used to have a restaurant just a couple of years ago. Anytime a major event came on, we felt it. We felt the impact of it. Can you imagine 300,000 people descending on Las Vegas during a time when you're getting about 90,000, I think it's 50 to 90,000 people in for conventions in Las Vegas? That was the NAB convention, which is still going on. It's actually, I think it's the last day of it today. National Association of Broadcasters. But their event is going on right now too. So there was a story that said that in Nashville last year, I was reading this article. Where's it at? Nashville. They set a record last year for the NFL draft, and 600,000 people attended the last pre-COVID draft in Nashville. 600,000 people. Estimated spending about $133 million. And guess what? They're thinking that at least that many people are coming to Vegas. Okay? I know some people say as low as 200,000. I'm thinking at least 500,000, 600,000, because we're the destination of the world. We've got the Raiders here. We've got basketball here. We've got and we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the specialty things that are going to be happening during the game or during the draft. But we've got all kinds of stuff going on. We have John Legend in town. We've got all kinds of artists over at Resorts World. Got them, and plus we've got stuff going on locally, downtown. I don't know about you, but if you've gone downtown in the last week or so, last 2 or 3 or 4 months, downtown Las Vegas is just blitzed. I mean, they're doing such great stuff in the downtown area. Can you imagine just our regular traffic, which is really high? Now add that the spectacle of coming to Las Vegas for the NFL draft. It's gonna be crazy. So local businesses are saying, hey, look, we are really geared up. We're excited about it. There are major renovations, major upticks in security, that kind of stuff, and we'll transition to another story about that in just a second. But Vegas is ready. We're ready for whatever can be happening. Let me ask you a question for especially some of my friends who are on our Facebook pages. Do you have a business that you're thinking, oh my gosh, something's going to happen? Whether you're on our Livin in Vegas page, whether you're on our Black Success Magazine page, Livin Weekly page, let us know that something like that is going on, and we'd love to talk to you about it. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna take off, folks. As we normally do. If you would like to see the rest of this video, just go to our website, livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com on our show page, and you can check out the rest of the podcast. Excuse me. We'll be back again tomorrow for another update of Livin in Vegas podcast, and where we'll talk about the people, the places, the events, the people that shape the city of Las Vegas. So we'll see you again tomorrow for Livin in Vegas Magazine podcast. Bye-bye. Well, all right. Well, I hope you guys are back. Thank you guys for being part of the show here. Once again, this is Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas Magazine. I hope you enjoyed that little musical interlude as we talk about. So in the last segment, we were talking a little bit about the NFL draft and what it is going to do to the city of Las Vegas. It's not just, and I want to kind of go back to this just a little bit. So many of you know Las Vegas has been waiting for decades, not just a few weeks, but decades, ever since I was a little kid. And I've lived here in Las Vegas for many, many years. We have been waiting for something like this to happen to us for decades, because we've always relied on gaming. I mean, I don't think that's any surprise to anybody. We've always relied on gaming, and for us to have now not just one, not just two, I think we have 5 teams right now. 5 teams, and we just made an announcement yesterday. So if you got our newsletter yesterday, you found out that they named our professional lacrosse team, and that's the Wayne Gretzky Las Vegas lacrosse team, and we just named those. So I think we've got 5 teams. We're looking at bringing in even a couple more, but we've been waiting so long for this to happen, and now it's here. The professional teams are here, and no sooner than we get the Golden Knights, we get the Raiders, we get the Aces, the Aviators, all these other teams, the Silver Knights, all these other teams, then we get all-star games over at the T-Mobile. We got the Pro Bowl over at the Allegiant Stadium, and looks like we're in 2024. We're going to get the Super Bowl. So before that's all happening, folks, we get the NFL draft. Folks, we're on overload. I just don't know how much more a team can take. I really don't. It's almost to the point where if we had not wanted it so bad, if we had not built in the infrastructure, if we had not been the Vegas we are, then I don't think we could pull this off. I really don't. I think people would be very, very hesitant in saying, we'll come to Vegas and do something. Because really, frankly, you can't do this in other places. You just can't do it. They just don't have the infrastructure. We have all of the convention space you could ever want. We have all the hotels you could ever want. We have all the dining. We have the shows. We have everything that you could want and much more. I mean, and that's just on the Strip. That's just in a 4-mile area. Even outside of off the Strip area in Las Vegas, the city proper, we've still got stuff. I mean, we've got so much stuff here, for anybody who wants to visit the place. I believe, and this is just me, the residual effect of people coming to Las Vegas for events like the NHL All-Star Game, like we had the college drafts, we had the Pro Bowl. Now we're having the NFL draft, and we're going to have the Super Bowl. I believe the residual fallout of this is going to be an expansion of our population much quicker, an accelerated expansion of our population in the next couple of years. So what do I mean by that? Well, there's so many of you know I ran for city council many years ago. I shouldn't say many years ago. It was a couple of years ago. And when I ran, one of the things you have to do is you actually have to study on what's going on in the city. So they have the 2025 plan, they have the 2035 plan, the 2045 plan. So they know where the city's going, and city planners have got this whole thing figured out. So what they're expecting, though, is they're expecting that the city of Las Vegas is going to grow by, I don't know, 500,000 people in the next 10 years. So that's what they're thinking, about 500,000 people. Well, folks, I think, and I don't think they've figured into the fact or calculated into the fact that these extra teams that we're bringing in here are going to accelerate all of that growth. Okay, I mean it's going nuts. Point in fact, right now is our Lake Mead water levels are now so low that they are that the intake valve. And remember, I don't think we talked about this. The intake valve over at Lake Mead is actually visible. This is actually one of the intake valves over at Lake Mead, and it is now visible. Well, what does that mean? Well, what that means is actually that they have to go to what they call the low level intake valve, and they put this in 2020, I believe. They finished it up. Estimated cost about $500 million that they put this in, and this was in response to what the city planners believed would happen as a result of all these people moving into Las Vegas. Yeah, I mean, they knew that we were going to have a buttload of people moving in here. So what they did is they started working on this a few years ago, and it was done 2020. I'm pretty sure 2020. Double check here. Yeah, I think it was done in 2020. That they were going to have to do something because they believed that we were going to get more people. Plus, now they're contacting the people in California, and they're saying, "Hey guys, guess what? We didn't know there was going to be a drought, but we did know we were going to have more people. And now that we have a drought and more people, things are really accelerating. And guess what's happening in California now? Yeah, they're telling the people in California, you've got to go to like 1 day of watering. That's it. 1 day of watering. That's it. So a lot of the water that we get from the Colorado River goes to Southern California. And Southern California, there was an agreement signed. This was like in the 30s, 40s, where we signed an agreement with the surrounding states on how we were going to disperse the water. Las Vegas at the time probably had 50,000 people. So our water, the percentage of water we get from the Colorado River was only this much. Fast forward now 50 years, 60 years, guess how much water we've expanded? Guess how much of a percentage of water we've expanded? None. We are still getting that same small percentage of water that we negotiated in years ago. California, on the other hand, much more people. They've gotten a bigger percentage of the water that comes off the Colorado River. Now they're going to have to cut back. They really have to. We have been here in the valley. This was something that was brought up by the Southern Nevada Water Authority. We as a community that has been directed to do all we can to conserve water, limit the number of water, the amount of water we use. We have been excellent as a community. So pat ourselves on the back. I can do that now. We can pat ourselves on the back and say we have done our part to conserve water. Our neighboring states, though, unfortunately, have not been as good as we have. So, great, congratulations, Las Vegas. Congratulations, Boulder City. And we got to go to that story here pretty quick, too. That we've been really good about all this stuff. So, I don't know. I'm just hoping that we can do something that will help this. So we'll be back in a second, folks, and we'll finish up the show. But got something to tell you about. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Cool. Hey, folks, and also, we've got a club that we want to let you guys know about. If you get our newsletter, you already know about this, but for those of you who are just joining us on our podcast, you may not know about this. We have a Livin in Vegas right now, the magazine is digital. We want to go print. And in order to do that, we've got to pay for it. We really do. So we've started a new program called Club 44. These are for individuals who want to join us. We need 44 business owners who want to partner with Livin in Vegas magazine to put out our first print magazine. Special promotion, special bonuses. You will join a select group of people who say we believe in Livin in Vegas magazine as a member of Club 44. So if you'd like more information about it, just send us your information at info@livininvegas.com. It's info@livininvegas.com and say, I want to be a part of Club 44. Okay? So there's I hope you enjoy this, folks. I really do. We're doing everything we can to bring you some quality content and to let you know about all the things that are going on in Vegas, where we talk about the people, the places, the events, the trends. And so we're looking for people who want to be a part of our broadcast, who want to be a part of what we're doing. And we know that if we give you the opportunity, you're going to reach out to us and want to be a part of it. There was another story that I want to tell you about. This school, now Las Vegas, the Southeast Career and Technical Academy, or CETA, was named the top magnet school in the nation, folks. This is pretty cool stuff. This, many of you know that Las Vegas is not known for having the best schools. Clark County, I should say, is not known for having the best schools in the nation. Actually, we're among the worst in the country. And it's something we're working on. I got to tell you, we're working on it. Every school district has its own things that they do well, they don't do well. Las Vegas, educating our kids is not the best thing we do. But our school, the Southeastern Career and Technical Academy, was just awarded the Magnet School of America's most prestigious award. Excuse me. And this is pretty cool, where we actually are we beat out 400, how many schools? 400 and some odd schools. I think it was over 400 schools that we beat out. Over 460 something schools that we beat out to be named the number one magnet school in the nation. So this is, now the cool thing about this, folks, is that I went to a magnet school. Actually, the first magnet schools that they had in the nation was when I was in 6th grade, which was a few years ago. Man, was that a few years ago? Yeah, it was a long time ago. Now I'm thinking about it. It was CVT Gilbert School, and it was the first magnet school. During that time, we were the first magnet schools. We got bussed in, and what they did, they called them prestige schools. I remember this very well. Called them prestige schools because what they did is they basically said, look, we want to pick only sixth graders, and we want to start educating these kids, focusing on education for these sixth grade kids. And that's what we did for a year. And so now they have technical schools, and they call those magnet schools now, because what they are now is they get kids ready for whatever they're going to do in these particular schools. And this is a technical school, so, it's pretty cool. So Southeastern Career and Technical Academy awarded the Magnet School of America. Very cool. All right, so I know many of you, before we leave, you want to know what's going on with the Vegas Golden Knights. Okay, so the Vegas Golden Knights. Wow. Okay, here's the deal with the Vegas Golden Knights. We lost again last night to Dallas. But all is not lost, folks. Here's the deal. We lost in a shootout. Excuse me, I've got something in my throat. So mathematically, we are not out of it yet, folks. Mathematically, we're not. Now, here's what happens. We can still get into the playoffs. It's a very long shot, but I believe it can happen. This is what's going to happen in order for the Vegas Golden Knights to actually make it into the playoffs, okay? One, we have to win our final 2 games of the season. That's what we have to do. And the Stars, they have to lose their last 2 games of the season in regulation, okay? So last night we got a point because we lost the game, but we lost it in a shootout in overtime. So we got 1 point. Got us a little closer to where we want to go. Even though we lost, we still got a point out. So mathematically, we still have a mathematical chance of making it into the playoffs, but we have to win our final 2 games, and the Stars have to lose their final 2 games. We play against Chicago tonight and St. Louis on Friday, and the Stars host Arizona tonight, and then they'll be in Anaheim on Friday. So keep your fingers crossed, folks. It can happen. It really can happen. We can actually get in. And it'll be the first time, if we don't get in, it'll be the first time in our history that we did not make it into the playoffs, which, it happens. It just happens. Sometimes it happens. But we don't want it to happen. We don't want to lose at all, ever again in life, okay? So once again, folks, I want to remind you about our magazine, Livin in Vegas magazine. Go to our website. We really encourage you. Go to our website at livininvegas.com. That's www.livininvegas.com. No G. Livininvegas.com. You can actually check that out. Also, we have another magazine that we've got out. It's called Livin Weekly, and you can actually check that out. Also, just go to livinweekly.com, and you can actually check that out too. We're so excited about both of these magazines, and especially if you want to get on our weekly mailing list. Easiest way to do that, folks. The easiest way to get on either one of those is all you've got to do is send me your information at info@livininvegas.com. Okay, info@livininvegas.com, and we'll get you on our mailing list and get you all of that stuff. Okay. Anyways, we're out of time, folks. Yep, I think we're out of time. Oh yeah. So we will see you again tomorrow. Spread the word about Livin in Vegas magazine, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. I'm your host, Sherman Ray, publisher, Livin in Vegas magazine. We'll see you again tomorrow, folks. Bye-bye.